Hi guys. So
Hey,
it's been a while. The last time we did a vlog was May 28th, and here we are. Thanksgiving weekend, October 8th.
Thanksgiving. We're very
Thanksgiving.
grateful.
So crazy, hard times are happening around the world, and we have just been through a very, very difficult time.
Yep.
And that's why Paul's with me on this vlog, because we want to share some things with you that I think will encourage you. And first of all, what are you doing?
You got hair inside your glasses.
Oh, okay. First of all, I want to say that it's okay if you feel like something is too hard for you. It's okay if you feel that way. Sometimes there's pressures in life that are actually way too much, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die, or you worry you're not gonna die. So there's this verse in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 where in verse 8, Paul says, I want you to know something. He's talking to the brethren and he says, I don't want you to be ignorant about what happened to me, brethren, of the trouble which came to us in Asia. So he was in Asia and he got into some big trouble. He said that he was under, the NIV says he was under so much pressure far beyond his ability to endure. Far beyond his ability to endure. So he despaired even of life. This is the Apostle Paul. Superhero Paul is in a situation where he is way more than he can handle. He despaired even of life. And it says, indeed, I had the sentence of death in my heart. Wow. So that seems like, well, what's the good news in that? The good news is that Jesus never leaves us or forsakes us. And sometimes we try to figure out, well, why am I suffering like this? Why did this happen? And what happened for us is we both got COVID, and Paul got really sick and nearly died 3 times. But in this verse, it says it came to us. The trouble came to him. He didn't look for it. It wasn't even his fault. He got in trouble. And that word is pressure, phlipsis, far beyond his ability to endure. But I want to encourage you, there's a really good end to this verse, and that God is always with us. We don't need to be afraid of suffering. Here's what he says. So you could wonder, well, why am I suffering? Did I sin? What's going on? Listen to what he says. We had the sentence of death in ourselves. And then he says this interesting verse, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God who raises the dead. You know what? It's like he delivers. And then it says he delivered us from so great a death, and does deliver. That same word, deliver, is rescue. So Paul's saying, I got into a situation way beyond my ability. I thought I was going to die. I was so much pressure I couldn't even endure it. But this happened that I wouldn't trust in myself, but in God. So that's what happens. You realize, oh, I can't do anything. I need you, Jesus. And he helps. So let's talk about what you went through, Paul.
Well, I think the long story short is I got COVID pneumonia extremely seriously.
Within 2 days of getting COVID, basically.
Yeah, I was in the hospital for 5 weeks through the course of the summer. I was in intensive care for 4 days on 70% oxygen, fighting for my life, over my 59th birthday on the 9th of June. So we haven't really done anything for my birthday, have we?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Anyway, but I did get green Wrigley Jello in a little bowl on the day after my birthday. Even though I was in pretty rough shape, I still marginally enjoyed it. I actually was thanking God for all the food I got in the hospital. I'm joking with people and saying, yeah, I was in the hospital for 5 weeks. Actually, I was only in it for the food, but the reputation of hospital food. But every meal I got, I received with thanks, because I wanted to be thankful for what I had. But it was extremely intense. It kind of fried my brain because of the lack of oxygen. I had delirium and hypoxia, and some pretty crazy things happened that some of you know about, and some of you will find out about when I write it up. I've been working on this book on hope, and this is going to be a substantial part of the first chapter of that book. But it's just kind of amazing that God brought us through this, even though it was so incredibly difficult. And at times I couldn't think, I couldn't remember. I had pain going through my whole body. I still have a little bit of that, much fatigue. But it's amazing because we can bring comfort and encouragement to other people now. Like even my cousins in Scotland have been going through COVID, and I've been encouraging them, and you're going to get past it, you're going to make it through and stuff like that. And also, not that I didn't have any fear about it before. I had no fear of COVID before, and I still don't have fear of it, so that's cool. But the bottom line is that even though it's really, really difficult, and like you said, you're scared you're going to die, and then you're scared you're not going to die, it feels like you can't cope and that you're actually not going to make it. But I can look back, especially in retrospect, right? Not so much at the time, and just see how Jesus was there through his Spirit and bringing little bits of encouragement. And,
Yeah.
I had nurses. I mean, we're in a totally secular culture and society, and I had nurses in the middle of the night in ICU just praying for me and speaking words of life over me. And I had a doctor who gave me prophetic words and just all kinds of really encouraging things and timing on things that was amazing.
So you felt the sentence of death
Oh yeah,
in your heart, like Paul. You felt like you were going to die.
Oh yeah, I can't say I had this sentient experience of God, and it was
No, you
so
thought
amazing.
you were going to die.
Oh yeah, it's like, I'm just trying to survive. All my energy,
Yeah.
emotional, mental, was put towards healing and not dying, basically.
So pressure, that was like a pressure cooker for us, and it didn't end. And God prepared me by saying there was a storm coming, and he said life to me. So I knew to pray for life for Paul. But I want to say that the pressure, it seems like he's not answering because it's not going away. But sometimes God's answer is deliverance in giving you the endurance,
For sure.
just pulling you through. In Romans 5, it says, endurance, tribulation or pressure produces endurance, and endurance, character. So there's something about the testing over and over and an enduring through testing that produces character. So,
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, what is God teaching you right now? Is he teaching you faith, that you can pray to him and something will happen right away? Or is he teaching you perseverance and endurance, like you're saying? So you pray, and so many of my relatives were praying, my extended family on your side, the whole family thread and everything. It was so incredible. And God did answer those prayers, but he answered them over time. And there was a lot of endurance, perseverance, and steadfastness that I learned in that process. And you did too, and we did together.
So the funny thing is, I've been thinking about pressure and testing. And I found this little article about pressure testing in construction. And the pipes that go underground get pressure tested to make sure they don't have any flaws. Otherwise, they're not safe.
Yeah.
And they're not, it actually says they get tested so they're ready for use. And I thought, wow. So God, how does character happen? Through the pressure testing? That pressure drives things to the surface. Maybe it's fear, and you realize, oh gosh, I really don't trust God, and you repent of fear. Or we did some repenting at the start of COVID where we'd not been kind, where suddenly the pressure just shows the things, the cracks. So God can make us strong so that we have greater capacity to be used by him. I like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It's awesome.
I'm a construction worker. Anyway, it says...
I'm a deconstruction worker.
It says that we should not, back to this verse, trust in ourselves, but in God who raises the dead. And then he says, who delivered us from so great a death and does deliver us, and whom we trust will still deliver us. You know what? When you
He
believe...
did, he does, and he will do.
So when you're charismatic, you want deliverance to mean the end of suffering, basically, right? Because you
It's
want
a bit
a
of a
miracle.
pipe dream, but I can agree with you
Pipe,
on behalf of
a
other
pipe,
people.
A pipe.
There you go.
So here it says, maybe the deliverance is way better that you can say, God got me through that storm. I got through and he strengthened me. And there are three things God said to me, and I think it's going to encourage someone. The first was, you have a lot to be thankful for. I woke up one morning when you were in the hospital, and this darkness, I was just like, oh man, and I was getting awake. I was awake so early, and Paul wasn't there, and I just felt sad. And the Father said to me, you have a lot to be thankful for. So take that. Find the things to be thankful for. Green Jello, right? Hospital food. Second, in one of those dark moments when Paul was having a mental crisis, I was in the living room and Jesus spoke to me and he said, I have a plan. And what you need to know in the middle of your enduring storm, where you're under pressure and it's not ending, is God has a sovereign plan for your life. As soon as I heard Jesus say that, I had peace. And the third thing I heard nearing the end, when we were already getting a lot better, but there were little rumblings of storm still in other areas of my life, I heard God say to me, I'm good. So let's not doubt his character, because he's allowed us to go through a testing, pressure, to see if there's cracks in our pipe, because he wants to use us without cracks. And then this is how I want to end this little talk. It says, he does deliver us, whom we still trust. He will deliver us, you helping together in prayer for us. All your prayers around the world came together and helped us to be strong, helped us to keep believing, helped us to trust Jesus when it was so scary. So I want to encourage you, he will deliver you. Don't be overcome by fear, even fear of death. Jesus is our resurrection life. He never leaves, he never forsakes us. He's amazing.
And in that regard, what you just said about all the prayers of all these amazing people, thank you.
Thank you. On Thanksgiving. Yeah, because it says that thanks may be given by many persons on our behalf. So I want every person who prayed for our healing, for our strengthening, for our endurance, give thanks to God, because he answered your prayer. Love you. Hopefully we'll see you soon again.
Bye.
Bye.